Hello everyone, so today I'm going to talk about how to calculate loss and profit with the lot size, how to calculate how much you can lose, how much you can make using different lot size possible. Okay, this was a question that Raysam asked me in the Discord, and many of you other people who have asked me different questions. I'll do a video on it, but let's start with this one because it's the most basic. If you don't understand this, then you're going to lose a lot of money. So allow me for the next few minutes just to do a quick roundup of all of this so that you can understand both using MT4 and MT5, because also Raysam told me that was a bit of a difficulty he was getting of calculating using these two. Okay, so first things first, you need to know how to read pips. Okay, without understanding how to read pips, you cannot even calculate the lot size. Okay, so understand how to read pips. Two, I'm going to show you how your stop loss distance, which is important. This is where you're going to calculate your lot size from. Okay, you don't need the take profit distance, you need only the stop loss distance. Number two, what is important, account size. So different account sizes will require different lot sizes to be taken with respect to the risk that you're going to take on that account. Okay, so that's that. And last but not least, I'm going to cover major and minor pairs because different pairs require different ways of lot sizing. Okay, so we'll cover that in a few. So first things first, how do you read pips? So I won't cover this because I have done an extensive video here in our page, okay, or also in the private account that you have for the students. But just to show you a quick one, if you come here to the playlist, okay, or just back at home, if you scroll down, there's a playlist here. If you come and look at this free forex course by Financial Hub, the last few courses that I did over here, what are pips and what is pip value. So you need to watch that video so that you can understand this video that I'm going to talk about lot size and calculating your lot with respect to your risk and account size. Okay, so that's first. Go watch that. Once you understand that, come and watch this video. Okay, so number two, lots stop loss distance. So remember your pips is going to be with respect to your lot stop loss distance. Okay, so let's say there's a trade of the sort. Let's say market has impulse like this, then we've gotten a correction, something like that and like that. Okay, and then we're expecting it to go higher. Okay, now if you come and draw here, if you draw your flag, let's say we're trading flags. Let's say you draw something of the sort. You want to trade a flag. Let's put it a bit more thicker. You want to take a trade here. Okay, so you're looking for a long position. You want to buy here. Let's use our equidistance tool so that we can get to know where our stop loss is going to be. So I click on that, and then click here. So you get to see the equidistance of the flag. Okay, so we want to be entering around that lower level. Let's take our risk reward tool. That means we're looking to trade there. Our target is going to be in line with the previous high, so you want to put the previous high around there. Okay, that's where our target is going to be, and your stop loss is going to be at the 1.35 level of the equidistance tool. Okay, so now you can see it's giving us a risk reward of 1:3.8. okay, that's a very good risk reward, meaning if you're risking 1%, okay, you're going to make about 3.8% on that trade. A very good risk reward ratio, if you may ask me. Okay, so you want to be entering there. So now we've gotten our stop loss distance. Now you need to calculate the stop loss distance. Like I said, what is the stop loss distance? Now the stop loss distance is the distance between your entry point and your stop loss. Okay, your entry point and your stop loss. Okay, so that's what I was telling you. You need to go and watch this video for you to understand how to count pips and pip value. Okay, now let's come back here. Now, for example, over here we're looking to enter the market. If you look at the far right, it's telling us around, let's use the ray tool so that you can understand better. So if I want to enter here, okay, I want to enter somewhere there, horizontal line. You're looking to enter around, you're looking to enter around 2008. Okay, this is just an example. This is gold. So gold, let's say 2008, and your stop loss level, you're looking to enter to put your stop loss at the around the 2000. Okay, so around 2000. So you're looking at 2008. That's your entry point, and the stop loss is at 2000. That means if you know how to calculate your pips using gold, you're looking for a stop loss distance of about 80. So those are 80 pips. Okay, that's 80 pips. Okay, so that's the distance between that entry point and here. Okay, the target doesn't really matter as much because the target is just 80 times 3.8. You'll get to know how many pips your profit is, but that doesn't matter. That will take care of itself. So you already know you're risking 1% and whatever amount you're going to risk in the account. Okay, so the next things that you're going to do, okay, we've known our stop loss distance. Now we want to calculate the lot size. What is your account size? Because this is really going to matter. Okay, so let's say for example your account size is $10,000. Okay, so let's say you're trading a $10,000 account. So you can do this for any account that you're trading. Let's say you're trading a $10,000 account and you want to risk. Okay, so these two go together, account size and risk. Let's say now you want to risk about a percentage. Okay, you want to risk 1%. 1% is about $100. Okay, so that's how much you want to risk. Okay, so now how do you calculate your lot size using this? So this is the important factor, this 100. So what you normally do, you take your 100, okay, divided by 80. So hope we're together. So calculate, we have this in the course. This is not something new. If you watch the course around risk, you're going to see this. So amount, lot size, okay, lot size equals, okay, amount at risk divided by stop loss, SL, stop loss distance. Okay, okay, distance. Okay, so amount at risk divided by stop loss distance. Once you get that, let's put this in bracket so that, because it's farther than that. Once you finish that, you multiply that by 0.1. Okay, so that's, sorry, I got this wrong. So let's remove that, put it here. Basic mathematics. Okay, so lot size equals amount at risk divided by stop loss distance times 0.1. In this case, we already have those parameters. We have 100, which is amount at risk. We have the stop loss distance. Okay, so 100. Now let's take this. Okay, 100 divided by 80. Okay, if I do a quick math on that, let's see. Where's my calculator? One sec. 100. So I have it here. 100 divided by 80. So 100 divided by 80 equals, I'm sure most of you have already done it. So the answer is 1.25. And remember, now you multiply that times 0.1 to get a good distance. So times that, the answer you're going to get on this one is 0.1. So 0.125. Now remember, one thing first things first. When you come to MetaTrader and MT4, MetaTrader 4 and MT5, you cannot get a lot size of 3 decimal places. The most you can get is only 2. Okay, 0. So I'll get into that. I'll show you a video on that in the next few. So the 0.125 cannot be calculated. You cannot put that. So what I normally do, just as a rule of thumb, I like to round it off to the lowest, to the downside. Because, for example, let's say now you round it off to the upside to 0.13, it means you're not risking 1%, you're risking 1 point something percent. So for me, just to be on the safe side, I'd rather even put it to the downside at 1.2 so that I'm risking less than 1% of my account. So that is the lot size you're going to put in your account. Okay, so with respect to that, so it depends with different accounts, different sizes. For example, if this was 100,000, okay, or let's even go lower. Let's say if you have an $1,000 account, that means you're risking over here $10 per trade. Over here, remember, this is going to change. Okay, this one doesn't change, the 80 does not change, meaning once you do that, you're going to get 0.125, I believe. Let's see, let me calculate here on my calculator. 10 divided by 80, exactly, you get 0. It's 0.125, and then if you multiply that, you're going to get 0.125. So you can see already this is way below. Okay, so the maximum you can put on this one, I'd suggest, like I said, round off to the lowest low. So on this one, you're going to be taking a 0.1, which is the lowest position sizing you can ever put on any currency pair, any the commodity index. This is the lowest. Okay, go watch my PIP video, you're going to understand that this is the lowest lot size you can ever put in any trading trade that you're going to take. And that is why we advise people, if you have less than $1,000, you can't trade. Literally, you cannot trade. Why? Let's take this lower. Imagine this was 100, which most people will start trading. It means you're risking 1%, okay, which is $1. So that means you're dividing this, okay, by 80, okay. That means over here you're going to get 0.0125, okay. If you multiply that by that, you're going to get 0.0125. And if you round off and remove this, and remember I said to the lower side, you're going to get 0.000. Okay, hope that makes sense. Now that is a clear indication that you should not take that trade, or rather you have a very small account that cannot withstand such a trade distance. Okay, so leave that alone. Move on to another thing. Okay, move on to another pair. But basically my main thing is to say, with a $100 account, you're basically gambling in the market. If you put a 0.1, okay, that means if you, let's say you just say, okay, it's the slowest I can take, but I really want to trade the gold and take a profit on this one, maybe it's going to work, it's a very good analysis I have. Okay, well and good. Ray Dalio says bet on it. Okay, put your money on it, let's see how it goes. That means you're trading as if you have an $1,000 account, 10 times your account. Okay, if worse goes to worse, okay, let's say it goes to a loss, you're going to, with your $100, okay, let's return this to 100, but you've decided to take a 0.01, meaning you're risking $10. If you lose that, you're going to be down $10, which you're going to lose. You're going to be down 90, and that is equivalent to being down 10%. And that, my friends, is very, very dangerous. So do not do that. If your account size is very small and you've calculated and you've seen it's not possible for you to take that trade, just go ahead and leave it alone. Okay, and that is why we emphasize for you to have bigger accounts. There are prop firms that can give you this money. There are some people who are well off. Take that account and trade that big size. The small sizes, yes, it's good, but only for practice. Okay, so that's first things first. Now you do this to every other pair. If you know how to calculate your gold, if you know how to calculate, calculating gold pip distance, if you know how to calculate Euro USD, the pairs are a bit different, all that. Okay, now that's a bit different. Now I've talked about the risk, so you do that on all pairs depending. So now you know that, you know how to read pips, know your stop loss distance, your account size, which we've talked about. Different account sizes will call for different lot size, and then calculate your risk with respect to your account size. We, as a start, be using 1% risk per trade when you're starting out. Okay, that's very advisable, 1% or less if you can. Okay, now minor versus major pairs. Now different pairs call for different lot sizing. Okay, for example, if you go to most pairs that are correlated to the dollar have almost the same way of calculating the lot size, especially when the dollar is acting as a quote currency. For example, Euro USD, Aussie dollar, GBP USD, such stuff, you calculate stop loss the same way you've calculated with gold, because it's also gold USD. Okay, same way you're going to do here, the same multiplication. Okay, but when it comes to other things like indexes, okay, so let's go to index. Something like, let's say you're trading, I've had many people trading the S&P, Dow Jones, and NASDAQ. So when it comes to trading these ones, it's a bit different with how you calculate your stop loss, your account size. So everything over here remains the same, but we remove this. Okay, so it'll be important for me to mark this. Okay, let me say, when you're doing indexes, depending on how you call it, it's a bit different. So when you're calculating indices, this is what you're going to do. This one is basically when you're doing dollar pairs with dollar as quote currency. Okay, with dollar as quote. So on this one, when you're calculating indices, you're going to use it like this: amount at risk, stop. So indices, for example, let's say you're trading the Dow Jones. Dow Jones is now trading, if you can see up here, or let's take this one, US 100, which is the Nasdaq, 12,200. So maybe you're trying to enter, let's say, for example, your entry point, let's use this. Let's say, for example, let's say it's where it is. Your entry point is at 12,200. Okay. Let's put this to the right. Let's put it black. So you can see you're trying to enter. Let's do away with this. Okay. So we're doing a new lot sizing. Okay, using indices. Let's do away with this. Let's do away with this. Let's do away with this, and that. So now you're entering at 12,000, and let's say your stop loss is at 12,000 flat. Okay, 12,000, which is about and let's put this to the right, and let's put it red. Okay, red. So now this is different. Okay, so let's say you're trying to enter here. Maybe you have such a pattern, you're looking to enter this stop loss. Okay, enter here, your stop loss is here, your target is up there. So this difference, okay, now this is not 80 pips, this is what, 200. Okay, now you're looking for a 200 pip difference. Okay, so you're going to do the same calculation of how I told you, but now it's going to be different. So same thing, let's say you have so let's come back here. Let's say you're trading same, let's do sort of the same $10,000 account. Okay, and you're looking to risk 1%. So we already did that. 1% is equivalent to $100. Okay, so first things first, that's fine. Okay, now we did the same thing, amount at risk divided by stop loss. So now you're going to take that, okay, 100 divided by 200. Okay, simple math. That's 1/2, which is 0.5. So you're going to get a 0.5 lot size. Now when you get this, when you have indices, do not calculate this by times 0.1, because you're going to get a much smaller lot size than what you are planning to get. Okay, so I hope that's clear. You can't do anything less than that. Okay, when you're trading indices. Okay, so those two things totally traded differently. Okay, now last one. Okay, that's how you calculate lot size on that one. Depending on your account size, it's going to be different. If this was $1,000, you're doing this divided by 10, I'm sure you're going to get here 0.05. If you have a $100 account, basically you cannot trade that pair. Okay, just leave it alone. Next thing, let's look at this. Okay, now dollar pairs with dollar as the base. Now this is different. Okay, now this is different. For example, when you're trading a pair like one pair that I trade all the time, USD CAD. Now notice that this one has the dollar as the base currency and not as the quote. Okay, now this one is different. Okay, so you're going to do more or less the same thing. You're going to take this same lot size, now amount at risk divided by stop loss distance times 0.1, and then the equation continues. Okay, times current trading price. Okay, so it's a bit complicated, but you're going to get the hang of it. So amount at risk stop divided by stop loss distance times 0.1 times the current trading price. For example, USD CAD right now is trading at 1.3693, basically 1.37. Okay, so you calculate that times 1.37. Okay, let me just wrap this. The current trading price. That's how you're going to get the right lot size on that one. Okay, if the price changes, maybe this is 1.35, you calculate by 1.35 the current trading price that is going on. Okay, so that's how you basically do different lot sizing with different things, because these are major pairs, minor pairs. Now there's another one. Okay, there's one more which I won't get into it because I'll confuse you. I want you to start with this one first. Is when now you're dealing with the dollar pairs with when you're not dealing with dollar pairs, when you're dealing with minor pairs, exotic, something like Euro JPY, GBP JPY, Euro CHF, those things, those now you calculate the stop loss, the lot size differently. So we'll cover this later. I don't trade those pairs so often, so I don't really have a clear understanding on them. Ken and Taras do, so they'll do a better explanation on it. But for me, this is what I normally do, and that is how we calculate position sizing with respect to your stop loss distance, okay, to respect to the account size, respect to risk, and respect to whether it's a major pair or a minor pair or an indices, okay. So I hope that was clear, and I hope you understood that, and I'll see you in the next video. So see you soon.